because he said, I have a briefcase with proof and things, and people keep saying proof, to bring it back. We have some pictures that we put in the control room, and I'd like you to look at them and to ask our director, what are we seeing here? Is this some of the paraphernalia that Satanists would use, Tom?
Yes, Sally, that's an altar, and on the altar there to the left is the Book of Shadows, which is kept by the high priest. And in the Book of Shadows, it's all of his recipes, his rituals, his ceremonial magic, things of this nature are kept. When the high priest dies, that particular book is then destroyed. Mm-hmm. The other book to the right, whoops, I'm sorry.
We moved, I said next. The other book was what?
Well, that was the Book of Grimoires, there again, a recipe book on different rituals that they perform, as well as you see the sword that acts as an extension of the high priest, and it acts as an extension of his hand or his arm as he casts and calls on and summons the deities from the different north, south, east, west, the demonic deities.
This looks like a...
This is a grave desecration here where the human remains, where they dug down to remove coffin nails, different things that they used in ritualistic ceremonies, graveyard dust, things of that nature they take.
Next.
This particular case that I worked was a sacrifice. The doll on the left represents the person that had offended them. And on the right, if you notice, there's an animal that's hanging there that had been sacrificed as well. And you can't see, but there is also a pentagram that is painted to the right on the wall, the brick wall. This was an old abandoned house, which they consider to be power spots that they will select to use at random.
And what have you got in your hands?
Sally, these are, of course, we can't show these on the air, but I'd like you to view these. These are things that, of course, this is the case that I mentioned.
I'll go stand behind you. I can move
around. Well, that's fine. You can look. This is the last particular case, as you can see.
I cannot look at that.
Okay, well, I don't want you to look at it.
I'm sorry,
And these are just some more proof of the sacrifice.
I cannot look at it. I thought I could, and there's no way I can look at that. There were severed parts of bodies, and I was a person who covered a lot of wars and things, but I've never seen anything that's that awful. Let me go to you, Lauren. You have not explained why you stayed with the cult. How long were you with them, or with these Satans, these people?
Well, actually being with them off and on was probably for about 6 years. But after I managed to get hold of myself enough after my child was sacrificed and I was forced to participate in a ritual which was designed for me to make me feel so guilty that I participated in it,
were you
that
very
I would
young
never talk.
When all this happened?
No, we're talking about late teenage years, early 20s.
But there was no way that you even thought to break away? This is...
Sally, the thing is that you have to understand, in Satanism, they have what they classify as breeders. They select people, they breed them. There is no parental ties. They impregnate the women, they carry the baby the full 9 months. The baby then is given back to the coven to be raised or to be sacrificed, or with no birth certificates, no nothing.
There are blood sacrifices that you saw, Lauren?
Yes, there are. And I want to make it clear, I was not a certified breeder, but I did manage to get out.
How did you get out?
Through the death of a couple people, I was able to start moving from city to city. But for about 15 years, I was harassed. There were blood-covered notes on my door, and I had threats of being killed if I ever talked. But I found out that going public is the safest way, and letting the public know what happens is the best for me.
Tom, I'd like to ask, have you ever participated in the sacrifice?
Ma'am, I'm not a Satanist. I never have been. I'm in law enforcement.
Paul, I'm sorry, not you, Tom. Paul, have you ever participated in the sacrifice?
No, of course not. I mean, first of all, logic dictates if I did, I certainly wouldn't.
What do you mean, of course not? We are hearing from a man who makes a study of this.
Well, it's pretty one-sided. I mean, everyone's quick to believe these two. You know, You know, she's talking about it took her so long to get out of a cult. Well, one, I wouldn't have been idiotic enough to get my children involved, and two, the minute one died, I'd be at the steps of a police station so fast.
But
you know, I have no sympathy for any trouble that anyone went through if they're too cowardly to get out.
Anybody,
Sally, I got a question.
Read my book. If you want to know what I'm saying, get Satan's Underground and read it. And Paul knows the answers to those questions.
What are you starting to say,
The
Tom?
problem I got, Sally, I have to go back to the beginning of the program. Paul made a statement. He said that he really doesn't make that much money. And yet what I hear is that he tells me that he's got a membership of 1,000. And now, unless I'm mistaken, that membership, isn't there a fee that he charges for this membership?
But besides that, Paul, you said you had 33 children. You said don't get your children involved. Are your children not involved in Satanism?
I'm talking, obviously, about sacrificing and injuring them. You know, Satanism is a blanket term, and I'm offended by the fact that, you know, they're saying that because I have guts enough to say I'm a Satanist, that I'm immediately going to go out and slice children and animals.
Tom, is Paul dangerous? Answer my question.
What we're saying is, you know, there's traditional, non-traditional Satanists. Okay. There's a difference between the two.
Is Paul?
You know, I don't know anything about Paul except what I've read and what I know. But the point I want to get back to, Sally, is he said that he didn't make any money. He makes more money than me. This man with 1,000 members, he makes $25,000 a year with what he charges as a membership fee.
Paul?
Church takes up a lot of money. I'm not making a profit. Simple as that. It's between myself and the IRS, and they know that I'm not.
Is the idea of Paul coming here and saying, I have a satanic group, is that dangerous?
Well, personally, I feel that any satanic group is dangerous.
I do too.
Paul, how do you get all these women to make kids for you? You know, have kids with you?
I'm an honest man. They're friends of mine. They're people I've known for years. They're all members of my church. You know, I don't force people to become a member of my church. I don't coerce them. You know, it's all fine and good to sit there and, you know, be afraid of Satanism and all. Well, fine, you know, but I don't really care. I'm not harming anyone. And, you know, I'm having a good time. The people that I'm with are having a good time. That's all that matters.
But
you know, when you have an organization that is sort of like a religious organization, and you are, I consider, preying on the female members and having kids with them, that to me is very sick. Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren, I just wanted to ask you, mothers are supposed to have strong instincts. How could you, what was holding you back from, you know, watching your child be sacrificed?
Touché.
What was holding me back? I'm sorry.
How could you just watch that? Didn't you go crazy?
Yes, I did. My mind did snap. At a ritual, my mind totally snapped.
Question?
Yes. Paul, where is your church located?
World headquarters are here in New Haven, and I have two other headquarters. One in...
Now, it may surprise you to know, those of you who are staunch Connecticut people, that does this happen somewhere very far away? Not on our doorstep.
Well, if I may continue, I also have headquarters in Copenhagen and Edinburgh.
Question.
I can't understand, if Lauren's been through such a traumatic experience, how she can smile and talk to Paul next to her.
The love of Jesus Christ. I'm not against
Excuse
Paul
me, Paul,
as a
who is
human being.
actively involved in this?
No, I don't. Paul had nothing to do with the deaths of my children. I love this man with the love of Jesus Christ. I am not against this man. I'm against what he stands for and the Satan that he serves.
Question.
I have a question for Paul. Now,